All right. We're back. Sorry for the technical difficulties yesterday, folks. But without further ado, we are here, and we're talking One Piece, Chapter 1049. For those of you who don't know, it's me, Mario. And yeah, we do this weekly One Piece stream/discussion. Where we kind of read through the latest chapter, kind of like talk through it as we're reading through it. We cope, we seethe, we go through the whole range of human emotion, the 5 stages of grief as we watch our favorite series from our childhood, head towards a watery fucking grave, slowly but surely, as Oda buries this shit with his absolute hackery. So, thank you all for joining me. I was super bummed that I couldn't stream it yesterday. My network just shat the bed super bad. So if anyone showed up for that, I do apologize. I apologize for, being a cock tease about that. And at that point, it was like I was starting the stream late. I got home from work super late. It just didn't seem, I could have maybe troubleshooted it a little bit more than I did then. But I ended up, calling my ISP, getting that shit ironed out. So we should be gravy now. All of my, fucking network tests seem like they are, fucking smooth as butter. We're running with, good speeds, good ping all around. So I'm pretty excited. But yeah, so on the last chapter of One Piece, what the fuck did we get up to? It's funny. It was so uneventful. It's also been like a week. Come on, guys. There's a lot can happen in a week. A lot can happen. So, on the last chapter of One Piece, what the fuck happened? So, Luffy and Kaido are about to punch each other. Luffy's got the big punch. He's got the big fucking fist. He's gonna fist Kaido. Kaido uses his fucking stand to form a fire dragon around himself and project his presence outward to block Luffy's punch. So Luffy and Kaido, they're clashing. They're doing a big dragon versus a big fist. Kaido says he's not gonna dodge. We'll see if that's true. Probably is. He seems like the type of meathead motherfucker who would just be like, come on, hit me on the cheek right here. Come on. Take your best shot, One of those assholes who then, gets fucking floored. You ever seen that? Some asshole, they'll be like, come on, hit me. You won't. And then they get, fucking floored. That's some bullshit posturing that I hate seeing. People who do that shit, don't know how to fight, and B, are actually pussies. They're just putting on a front, So, fuck people who act like that. If you're one of them, fuck you. But anyway, we're talking One Piece, and like I said, so Luffy and Kaido, they're clashing, their clash is ongoing, and what happened last chapter, the big takeaway, Denjiro, after being absent for fucking 20 plus chapters, just who knows what the fuck he's been doing all this time? Has he just been looking for Orochi for the last 20, 25, 30 chapters of the fucking manga? I know there were other important things happening. He probably was just a footnote, and Oda probably wanted to make us forget about Denjiro, so that way when he comes back, he makes his grand re-entrance into the narrative, him doing something cool, like taking out, a big bad guy who'd already been killed a dozen times, so it's not actually that cool, because everyone's already killed this motherfucker, and he's just he's a fucking cockroach. Orochi's a cockroach, he keeps coming back. The dude's a piece of shit. I love him, but he is a piece of shit. Fuck him. Okay, guys. Is Orochi dead? If only Oda were not a hack. And he was. But, he's probably going to come back and survive this. We'll see him in a cover story somewhere. He'll be fine. Orochi will be fine. This is the cross that Oda bears by not wanting to kill anybody in his fucking story. But Denjiro came back. He made his grand re-entrance. He cucked Hiyori out of doing something cool, which is a bummer. But, he was all, we gotta remember as well, I'm being a little facetious here, but we gotta remember that Denjiro, he was the one who kind of subjected himself. He was the one who put himself under the he was the one who came up with, the master plan, I will work for Orochi so that he'll never expect me betraying him. And then when it happens, like it does feel like a bit of like karmic, cosmic justice, or if not like karmic justice, right? Because like Denjiro had been playing the role like similar, like that's another like big theme this arc, is like this kind of idea of people playing certain roles. Like that's like a big, like it's a big kabuki theater thing, and like different people have been playing different roles throughout the arc. And what's his name, Denjiro, Kanjuro and Denjiro are kind of like two sides of the same coin. Like Kanjuro was playing the role of like a loyal retainer to Odin, someone who is seeking the betterment and the restoration of the Kozuki clan, while Denjiro, on the other hand, was seeking, he was like pretending, he was playing the part of the loyal retainer, the loyal bodyguard of Orochi, when in actuality he was the one who would end up finishing him off. So I don't mind that Denjiro was the guy to finish him off. I actually think that's kind of poetic. I think it works from like a narrative and thematic point of view. But as I went on a long rant last time, I expected and was hoping for Denjiro to do much more. So I am a little let down. But at the end of the day, Oda just had different plans for Denjiro. He wasn't meant to be as big a character, as important of a character as I thought Oda was building him up to become. So it's just, that's just how the cookie crumbles. You just got to roll with the punches. I'm a little disappointed that he didn't end up being like sort of like, that he didn't end up playing a villain, because I think that could have been interesting. It could have made the villain side a little bit more intimidating, because they were... I'm not saying they're entirely lackluster, but the villains in this arc were definitely a little lackluster, except for like Big Mom and Kaido, and maybe like Queen, and like maybe like Black Maria, right? Most of the other villains in this arc are kind of like, they get taken out pretty quickly. But without further ado, let's get into this chapter. My predictions for this chapter are essentially that, I don't know, man, it's hard to say. Are we gonna get another chapter of just Luffy and Kaido in a fucking final clash stalemate? I feel like this has got to be the end. This has got to be the chapter where Luffy because last chapter we did a flashback to see like the plight of the Wano people, and I feel like that's what Oda always does right before he does like the final clash, right? So this chapter has got to be the final clash between Luffy and Kaido. I'm thinking it has to be. Obviously, I could be wrong. I've been wrong. I've been predicting that for the last like 2 chapters. Oda might just string this shit along because he wants this to be the longest arc in One Piece, that fucking piece of shit. But we'll just have to see. It's hard to say at this point in time. I would love to get a Kaido flashback. Please, Oda, please. But I don't have high expectations for one. Maybe we'll get a flashback to Kaido after he gets taken down. I feel like we gotta get the Rocks flashback, right? That's gotta happen. But as we know, Oda is teasing us. He's never going to deliver on any of this shit that he's set up. So who knows? Who knows what happens? But anyway, without further ado, let's get into this chapter, chapter 1049 of One Piece, and it's called The World You Wish For. So here, let me go ahead and show the chapter here. And again, guys, this is not a substitute. I feel like I kind of have to state this, but whatever. This isn't a substitute for reading the manga, itself, whether you, read it via official channels or not. None of my business, but I would suggest, supporting it in some way, shape, or form. That's up to your discretion, though. And, this is just, my thoughts, my reaction to said chapter. So, okay. Chapter 1049 of One Piece, The World You Wish For. So what does this mean? The chapter titles usually describe what's going to happen in the chapter. The World You Wish For. So what comes to mind for me is maybe this is going to be a Kaido-centric chapter about the world that him and King wished for, because I remember back then, he, when Kaido rescued King, that flashback that we saw from King's perspective, where King asked, like, you're really saying you could change the world? And Kaido says, I'm the only one who can change it. And back then he was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, he had nowhere to go but up. He was not a jaded, middle-aged alcoholic like me. No, not really. I'm not quite middle-aged yet, but I am working on the alcoholic part, that's for sure. Anyway. yeah, this might be a Kaido-centric chapter. I would love it if it were, but as we know, the raid is going to fail. You know, Luffy's going to be defeated for the umpteenth time, and we're going to be stuck in Wano for another 50 years. So, it's Wano is literally like Groundhog's Day. Like, essentially, it's like, will the groundhog finally see his shadow, or will we have 8 more weeks of winter? That's essentially what Wano has become. Will Luffy finally beat Kaido, or will Kaido beat Luffy and we have 18 more weeks of Wano? Who's to say but the man himself, Goda? Let's see what we got this week. The World You Wish For. Okay, so we got the cover story, continuing with the cover story about the Germa and everything that's going on with them and Big Mom. Okay, so the World You... so here we go. So we got this dude. I forget this guy's name. He's the 25th son. I forget his name. He appeared and was kind of neat, I guess. He kind of looks fucking weird, but like I like his design. He's funny. I like his funny top hat. We also got Pumpkin Guy. I remember Pumpkin Guy, or maybe it's Pumpkin Girl, wearing a mask, trying to be safe from the Rona. We got Knife Girl, who also has a mask. You know, these guys are all pretty considerate of of the people around them, as we can see. So. No, they're wearing masks because they're operating on these lads right here. But for whatever reason, everything is going up in smoke, and these guys seem rather fucking, rather spooked, rather uncomfortable by the situation at hand. So, who knows why? I can't say. But let's read the fucking tagline, figure out. So, Germa's Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 11. What the? The book in the research lab is on fire. That means those two are free. Oh, okay. So they were trapped in oh, I see now. So they're laying on the pages of a book because that's how Mont d'Or, or Big Mom uses the power of Mont d'Or to like trap people, pin them down into the book, into the pages. And they were, wow, that's interesting. I didn't realize they were operating on them while they were in the pages of the book, but that now that I can see their names and the like folds of the book, that makes a lot of sense. And as we know from Whole Cake Island, you set the books on fire. That's what Jinbei did to release Nami and, what's his name? Luffy, the main character, a.k.a. Nika, a.k.a. Sun God, a.k.a. Joy Boy. But... someone has set the book on fire. Who is it? It is most likely the other Germa kids. If I had to guess, that would make the most sense. Or maybe it's Blackbeard, or maybe it's Ace, or maybe it's Sabo. Who else has fire powers? King, maybe? Sanji, maybe? Who knows? So, we'll just have to find out in the next one. So, okay, so these two are free. They're going to fuck these guys' day up because they are strong, strong boys. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's continue. A fierce hockey clash. Who will prevail? Okay, so we got Luffy. He's punching down on Kaido. Kaido is in his fucking, Bankai. He's in his fucking stand form. He is releasing his spiritual pressure to, fucking overcome Luffy's giant hockey fist. So someone's powering up, as we can see. If we know anything from Dragon Ball, and honestly, this is the most Dragon Ball thing, or Dragon Ball Z thing in particular, that has ever happened in all of One Piece, because this clash between these two guys has been going on for like 4 chapters now. That's like that time in the fucking Frieza arc and the Namek arc in the anime of Dragon Ball Z. In the original anime, I can't speak to Kai, but in the original anime, Goku like powering up to Super Saiyan, and then also I think I don't remember if it was Frieza, whenever they did the Spirit Bomb, that took fucking forever. That took like several episodes. Like, it was ridiculous. Just him being like, oh, and like them just like kind of like gathering energy for like episode on episode at a time. Like the fucking padding in that series, at least in the anime, like the manga flows a lot faster. The padding in like the Dragon Ball Z anime is fucking ridiculous. It's so bad. Absolute garbage. But Still Kino. I watched it as a kid, so nostalgia and all that shit. Okay, so these guys are clashing. Someone is saying ha, and it might be Momo. Might be Momo saying ha, like trying to push the island. That wouldn't surprise me at all. So Kaido is trying to bite that big hand. He's gonna swallow it whole. Because we know, like, you guys know how like snakes can like swallow like a fucking person whole, like a giant, like what are those giant ones called that are like literally like the girth of a human being? That's a King Cobra, right? King Cobra, like literally the size, like in girth of like an entire person, but like way fucking longer, and literally can like digest like things, like they unhinge their jaw and like digest like something this big. Kaido is basically a snake. He's basically a big snack. This big snack is gonna have a big snack here in just a moment. Basically a big old jelly bean. I mean, Luffy's already been eaten by Kaido, but has he been eaten by Fire Kaido? That is the question. Okay, so well played, Kaido says. Luffy is feeling the burn right now. He's really feeling the burn. He's doing CrossFit. This man is in pain. Ugh, he says as he squints in agony. I have to hand it to you for coming this far, but you'll never be able to change the world. Okay, so now we're getting into Kaido, like Kaido's defeatist mentality. The reason that this man is a depressed man, the reason he's a suicide man, is because he, like we're about to find out. This is, okay, I'm really fucking hoping. This gives me some fucking hope. This gives me some cope that we're about to get into a fucking Kaido flashback. Because him saying you'll never be able to change the world is like clearly like a perspective that is true to him. And we saw back in his flashback with King, or back in the flashback with King asked Kaido, like, do you really think you can change the world? And Kaido was like, I'm the only one who can change it, with like a big grin on his face. And now he's saying you'll never be able to change the world. And we know that Kaido wanted to be Joy Boy. Luffy apparently is Joy Boy, according to, I mean, we know that fucking, that was kind of retconned a couple chapters later, after, 1043 or whatever, when that was first kind of explained. But Luffy, like, whether he's actually Joy Boy or not, still kind of up in the air. It seems at this point that he's not. He just resembles Joy Boy and, what's his name? The homie, the big elephant homie. Not homie. Fuck. God damn it. I can't even say homie without it being like an actual term in the series. I'm talking about Zoe. Zoe sensed Luffy's awakening and was like, oh yeah, that reminds me of Joy Boy. Like, it's really him, it's Joy Boy. But then like 2 chapters later, he's like, this guy feels a lot like Joy Boy. So fuck that guy for screwing with us, and for, and fuck Oda for putting that shit in there and screwing with us, and for making us think the series, that Luffy was like literally reincarnated instead of just like, maybe has like a similar vibe or similar powers to Joy Boy. Either way, it was some hack shit. Don't do that shit again, Oda, or I will kill you. No, okay. I need to be careful because, okay, no, never mind. Okay. So Kaido says you'll never be able to change the world. And are we about to get, oh shit. Guys, it's happening. The fucking Kaido flashback we've all been waiting for. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's finally here. It's finally here. It's finally here. Yes! Fuck yeah, dude. Oh my god. This whole time, I like gave up hope. Kaido's been trying to get everyone to give up hope this arc. Giving up hope has been a big, like, theme this arc. And I fucking lost hope. I was the Ashura Doji in this situation. I did not see... I couldn't, forget waiting 20 years for the samurai to show up. I couldn't fucking wait 20 chapters for this shit to happen. No, I mean, we've been waiting like 140 chapters for a Kaido flashback. Thank God. Thank Goda. We're finally getting the goddamn flashback. Whew, I can breathe a sigh of relief, boys. I can breathe a sigh of fucking relief. Thank you. Thank you, Goda. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see how... Okay, it's not Goda yet. I'm just glad he actually is, like, making it happen before Kaido gets taken out. Like, thank God. Thank God. Thank Goda. But we'll see if it's actually interesting. We'll see if it's actually good. We haven't read it yet. I'm just happy we're getting one. Okay. He did it. He may only be 10 years old, but that Kaido kid is the strongest soldier around. So he was like a Guts type character, like Guts from Berserk, who at like 10 years old was able to kill grown adults with a huge ass sword. Interesting. So he was like a child soldier. But that Kaido is the strongest soldier around. I'm still itching for more. So he's like kind of battle hungry. 46 years ago, the kingdom of vodka. You know, that's... Hey, cheers to that. Oh, fuck yeah. The kingdom is lit as fuck. Okay, so let's see. What's going on with this dude? Our nation has no choice but to wage war. The loot we acquire is our only means of paying the celestial tribute. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing here, Oda. The celestial tribute came up at right before, I think it was first mentioned right before the Reverie. Or maybe like right before Wano, because we know that Whitebeard's hometown couldn't pay the celestial tribute, which is why Whitebeard had to like take care of it and why it was such like a fucked up place. But we also know that like basically if you can't pay like your taxes, you don't get protection from the world government. And like I don't even blame the world government for not protecting people who don't pay their taxes. So whatever. So I guess in this case, but at the same time, taxes are whatever. Taxes suck. I get it. But yeah, so okay. The loot we acquire is our only means of paying the celestial tribute. If we fail to do that, we will lose our standing in the world. Why do the celestial dragons get to boss you around? Kaido, enough. So, okay, so Kaido's a little older than he was. So he was 10 years old here. He must be like, like 13, 14 years old here. He's a little bit more edgy. He's got longer hair. It's interesting seeing Kaido as a young guy because he's got like gray skin in like the anime. He looks kind of like funky and weird. And I wonder if he had like here he just looks like kind of like a Caucasian dude with antlers basically, or horns. I mean, it looks fine. It looks cool, but whatever. Why do the celestial dragons get to boss you around? Kaido, enough. Okay. So we see Kaido. Oh, damn, he's a big lad. Look at this guy. Fucking beefcake, even as like a fucking teenager. Big fucking lad. Look at this man. We have offered you up for Navy enlistment. So wow, oh shit. So he got drafted. He got drafted to the Navy, okay. Because he was such a strong lad. To be blunt, our country can't handle you. Oh, classic. So this is kind of like, so Kaido's kind of like Odin if Odin didn't have like a good, like if Odin didn't grow up in like a rich family, is how I'm kind of seeing this. Which is interesting, because like, so Odin was like rambunctious and fucked up and did all like kinds of like crazy shit, beat up people, fought people, mostly bad people probably. But Kaido grew up in like a shit like land where they like had to play the celestial tribute. It's a really poor kingdom. 46 years ago. So 46 years ago, Kaido was 10 or maybe like, 13 or whatever. Interesting. So that makes Kaido how old? 50? 50? I guess Kaido's not that old. No. Sorry, 60. That makes Kaido 60. So that's more like it. That's more like it. Because Big Mom's like 68 or something. So yeah, that makes sense with the timeline. We have offered you up for Navy enlistment. To be blunt, our country can't handle you. So he's being tied up with Kuroseki probably. And maybe not. He got his devil fruit from Lin, so he probably doesn't even have one yet. You want me to be a government dog? He says. Oh, that's pretty fucked up. But hey man, you've seen Full Metal Alchemist. You can still get shit done when you're working for the man. If you hand him over now, you are guaranteed a seat at the next Reverie. Wow, shit. So yeah, they're kind of strung up here. They don't have much of a choice. I'm not a political bargaining chip, damn it. Hey, they said my name. They said my name in One Piece. I'm canon. I'm a political bargaining chip. Political bargaining chimpanzee. Okay. I might change my name to that later. Okay. Kaido escaped. So he escaped. They immediately gave him a $70,000. Wait, really? That's like almost as high as like Robin's initial bounty. And this guy isn't like even like that big of a threat. He's just like a strong dude. Kaido escaped, wanted Dead or alive, Kaido 70 million berries. We already caught him, though. Did he really escape again? So, I guess he's escaped a few times, and now they're like, okay, this guy's dangerous. Okay. And he looks cool. I like the look of young Kaido. He looks mad. He looks tough. He looks angry. He reminds me of a young Blackbeard who was kind of like also probably grew up in like a shitty situation like this. And like didn't really like, it's interesting to see these characters who aren't exactly like, I'm not saying Luffy had a ton of like great prospects growing up because he was basically like a foster child. And his dad abandoned him. But, like, he did have good role models, and he could have, like, his uncle was super well connected. Luffy could have became a Marine. I'm not saying he had to do that. I mean, he could have done whatever he wanted. He had, like, friends in certain towns, but he grew up kind of, like, with bandits. He grew up around, like, influences that would have seeing what happened with Sabo and his family, he would have been like, okay, going, like, the proper path isn't necessarily the best path to go down just because it's considered by society to be the proper path, you know? So, totally makes sense why Luffy became a criminal at some point. But, like, seeing characters like Kaido who have known nothing but, like, war, know nothing but, like, crime, know nothing but, like, you know, like, kind of, like, oppression by the world government, it makes sense that someone like him would, like, you know, turn to a life of crime. And I assume similarly the same shit goes for Blackbeard, where he was like an orphan. He, you know, was living on an island somewhere. Who knows what his origins are? I mean, like, the Blackbeard flashback is the shit I'm really waiting for. But this is interesting. It's cool. It's cool to see, like, you know, because who knows? Maybe if Luffy grew up in a country that was constantly at war instead of just a country that was kind of like, you know, pristine on the outside, but like kind of like fucked up around the edges because of like, you know, Trash Mountain and stuff like that. But like the city itself was kind of like pristine, like the capital or whatever. It clearly, you know, it's an interesting dichotomy. It's an interesting dynamic. And like Luffy clearly had like better influences. He had his brothers to kind of like protect him and be a buffer to him. And like kind of that also affected them positively. Like Luffy and Sabo became better people because they had someone to take care of. Like when you first meet Ace is kind of like an asshole. Like Ace is kind of fucked up. But because he had someone to take care of, because he had someone to look after, he became like a good man. And same thing kind of goes for Sabo on some level, although the amnesia shit, which in my opinion is basically like the worst thing in One Piece besides Pell, like specifically like Sabo's amnesia. I hate that shit. Literally, like basically like that's like one of my least favorite things in all of the series, in the entire series. But essentially, like, those guys had someone to protect. They had someone to look after, and that's what made them, like, that's what made Sabo and Ace grow into, like, good people. And Luffy had his brothers to kind of be a buffer between himself and, like, some of the harsher realities of the world, which allowed Luffy to kind of grow up, not, like, in a bubble. Like, Luffy's still, like, a guy who, like, seems to understand, like, how fucked up the world is on some level, but, like, Luffy has endless optimism because he was sort of protected as a child and shepherded as a child because he got lucky in a lot of ways. Where someone like Kaido didn't have a Shanks, he didn't have an Ace, he didn't have a Sabo, he didn't have like people looking out for him. He had literally the people who he was like serving literally sold him into slavery, basically. You know, to help themselves for their own personal gain. He had no choice but to become a criminal. So if he wanted to be free, if he wanted to like actually live his life the way he wanted to. So that makes a lot of sense to me. I vibe with that. But yeah, I you know, it's cool. It's cool seeing Kaido, you know, coming from like such a fucked up background. Even Odin, like the fact that he was just like related to the Shogun, he was the Shogun's son, that gave him like a certain level of privilege, that, you know, guys like Kaido just didn't have. And that's just the truth, which is interesting. You know, it's interesting to think about that. Okay, so we already caught him though. Did he really escape again? I heard he gets caught on purpose when he's hungry. That's pretty based. I gotta say, that's pretty based. A prison ship isn't a buffet. Okay, so he's wandering around. He goes to the pirate island. I'm calling it Beehive because Full of Lead is a stupid name. Beehive is better. I like it. It's probably like the katakana is probably Full of Lead, where the kanji might be Beehive. I don't know, but I like it better as Beehive because the giant skull there has a bunch of like holes in it, which makes it look like a big like skull shaped beehive, right? because there's like all these different like windows and doors in it, to show that like, you know, different like people are, you know, to me, Beehive makes more sense. So I'm calling it Beehive. Fuck you, whoever translated this shit. You don't know what you're talking about. I, who don't know how to read Japanese, know better than you. So I should make the editorial decisions here, of course. Anyway, he's so strong. Who the hell is this guy? How can he only be 15? So this guy's 15? This man looks like a fucking 20-something man. Look at this man. Hey, Brad, you want to be a pirate? Oh, we got Whitebeard, baby. My man Whitebeard, with his weird crescent moon fucking mustache. Rox wants to meet you. What will you do? So this guy shows up. He beats up a bunch of these dudes. Whitebeard's just drinking there. He's just like, hey, man, Rox says he wants to meet you. How about you go hang out with him? Kaido joined the Rox Pirates? Shit, dude. This is cool as fuck, man. I've been so excited. I've been wanting the fucking Rox flashback for so long. Hell yeah. Okay, here we go. Kaido joined the Rox Pirates? They're unstoppable now. Kaido, come quick. It's important. We're going to God Valley. Oh, shit. Dude, we get to see the God Valley shit? Yo, oh my god. Okay. Now, that's actually... This is the hypest shit in, like, the last, like... Since the end of the Big Mom fight. Like, you know, which was hype as fuck. This is crazy. Oh my god. Because I remember... so for anyone who doesn't remember, back when God Valley was first, like, explained by Sengoku, I think that was in chapter 956. It was, like, right before Act 3, the beginning of Act 3 of Wano. It was, like, in the intermission. Sengoku explained the God Valley incident, right? Here, I'm going to scroll up so I don't spoil myself for anything. I wonder if this is Lin who's saying, Kaido, come quick, it's important, we're going to God Valley. I like his ship, too. I like the ship design. This is very Pirates of the Caribbean ship. Looks like the Black Pearl, looks fucking sick. I love that. Okay, cool. So, Kaido with this fucking chin, man. Man's looking like the literal Chad meme. With that fucking jawline on him. That's great. I like that a lot. Is he really only 15 here? This man's looking fucking mature and sexy and damn. Anyway, okay. So the God Valley incident, just to recap that for anyone who forgot, the God Valley incident was an incident where the Rox Pirates were apparently trying to intercept the Tenryubuto, the world nobles, right? And specifically, the Rox Pirates were trying to, we don't know exactly why, but we know that the Rox Pirates were, they had plans to destroy the world or, take over, because, Rox D. Zebek wanted to become the king of the world. So, Kaido, so essentially, and he had a bunch of, badasses on his crew. He had, Whitebeard, Lin, Kaido, fucking, what's his name, the peg leg man, the double peg leg man from that movie, that film, the movies don't matter, but you know what I'm talking about, Shiki, Golden Lion Shiki. He had Captain John. He had fucking not Otoko. God damn it, Otoko. No, Otoko was not born then. He had Ochoko, I believe is the name, which I think was the name of an actual female pirate, which is pretty based. Someone who was a pretty cool real life character, a pretty cool real life pirate who actually existed. A Chinese lady who I think maybe was a prostitute at one point. I'm not 100% on that. I would double check it, but yeah, you guys should look that shit up. It's pretty interesting. Okay. But essentially, at God Valley, the Rox Pirates came into conflict between Garp, who is there to defend, and the Marines, apparently. Garp and his, subordinates, who were there to defend the Tenryubuto, presumably. We don't actually know, what exactly they were there for, but that's, presumably what happened. And then Roger was also there, probably with his crew. We don't know for sure. He was there, and he teamed up with Garp to take on Rox, the whole crew, I presume. Yeah, because at this point we know we're going to God Valley. Which apparently, like, and now we know God Valley no longer exists. It was maybe wiped off the face of the map by the battle that occurred there, or maybe it was a buster call. We just don't know yet. Or maybe it's just not drawn on any map anymore. That's all we know, is that it's not drawn on any map anymore, most likely because, like, the government just didn't want the information about this place and what is on it to be public knowledge. So it's crazy that we're finally getting to find out, like, what this is and, like, why they were going. I mean, I don't know how detailed the information is going to be, but just the fact that we're getting the highlights makes me feel like we're about to see something interesting. Okay, so the rocks have fallen. Are you kidding? With all the monsters on that crew? I heard a Marine called Garp beat them. No way. And I think this is Linlin, maybe, because it looks like Linlin, like the hair and the hat. No way, I bet they're infighting. No, maybe it's not Linlin, I don't know. No way, I bet their infighting did them in. None of them were team players. Don't screw with me. Where the hell did you go, Kaido? Wait. So, is this Big Mom? And is she the one? So it sounds like Big Mom was like, yo, you gotta go to God Valley. Or we're going to God Valley. The infighting did them in. None of them were team players. Don't screw with me. Where the hell did you go, Kaido? So wait, what does this mean? Okay, 10 years have passed since that incident, Kaido. You're now known as the embodiment of brutality. Kyo. So it's been 10 years since the God Valley incident. Kaido is becoming, like, a world power. He's got King. It looks like he might have Queen, or he at least has some fat guy working for him, feeding him shit. But King's there. He's looking based. He's looking cool. He's got his flag. If you study history, humans have always resorted to brutality to solve the world's problems. But then again, humans are just like any other animal. Survival of the fittest is our true nature. Okay, so that's definitely, like, been a theme with Kaido, is his, like, meritocracy of his crew. Basically, if you know what? I just realized this skull, the full lead / beehive skull, it has a bandana on it. I hadn't noticed that before. I thought it was just a fucking skull, but no, it actually, there's, like, literally like a fucking line on the head that goes all the way across the forehead, and there's, like, literally, it's tied up in a bandana. That's actually, what a good design. Good job, Oda. Well, that's a really fucking cool looking island. I love this island. It reminds me of Tortuga from. It's like just a fucking lawless place full of scum and villainy. A little like Jaya, but like a more hardcore version of Jaya. And I love that Blackbeard is now the guy who, like, rules that, because Blackbeard is, as we all know, the truest pirate in One Piece. He is the truest pirate to, like, what a pirate actually would be. He's a conniving, scheming son of a gun who, he's the true Jack Sparrow, the true Barbossa of this series. He's a based guy. We all love him. Okay. So 10 years have passed since that incident. Kaido, you're now known as... Okay, so if you study the human history, survival of the fittest is our true nature. Okay. Okay, so now Kaido's growing a mustache, looking pretty cool, looking pretty sexy. Kaido, he was able to, we know he fucked because he has a daughter. Unless it was it must not have been adopted, because she has, like, his horns, his, like, moveset. I mean, it's possible, like, it's possible she was adopted, but I'm pretty sure this guy fucks. Look at this guy. This guy fucks. Come on. Couldn't agree more. From now on, everything will revolve around the former members of the Rock's crew. Weapons shape the world we live in. With that in mind, I have a proposition for you. Kyo. So interesting. So this like Baba Yaga looking motherfucker was actually on Kaido's crew, or working for Kaido, and actually was the one who proposed that they go back to Wano, or that they go to Wano. Let's show all those peace-loving nobles the hellish reality of war. Oh shit, okay, so interesting. So does this mean that Kaido's motivation this whole time was to essentially disrupt the status quo that the nobles had put in place? Because clearly the nobles only care about peace in their version, and as long as they're benefiting from the peace, right? They don't care who falls through the cracks of society's safety nets, as long as them and their benefactors are sitting fat and happy, and they're sitting pretty and they get to do whatever they want. So, cool. Okay. The hellish reality of war. One's worth can only... Yeah! And everyone's cheering on. Fuck yeah. One's worth can only truly be gauged in battle, where everyone is equal and anarchy reigns free. Fuck yeah. Yamato mentioned Joy Boy. Okay, so Yamato's in the picture at this point. That makes sense. And it looks like this is Onigashima. We're seeing it right here. So, yeah, they're on Onigashima now. Yamato mentioned Joy Boy. Not sure how that brat learned his name. Okay, so this is after... what's his name? This is after... Clearly, after Kaido learned about who and what Joy Boy is, but also after his conversation with King back in King's flashback when King said, I think you might be Joy Boy, Kaido. So that's interesting. Yamato mentioned Joy Boy, not sure how that brat learned his name. Apparently, Odin wanted to open Wano to welcome Joy Boy. That's what King is saying or Kaido is saying to King. If Joy Boy is the same man that you're waiting for, King, then I know who he is. If Joy Boy is the same man that you're waiting for, King, then I know who he is. So interesting. So King was waiting for Joy Boy. But we know King was like super loyal to Kaido. And King literally said, I will work for you. Like, I owe you my life. I will work for you regardless of whether you're Joy Boy or not. Like, you know, King truly was a true believer in Kaido. Probably the only one. Probably the only true believer in Kaido, besides maybe like some of the Flying Six. So that's interesting. That's cool. Okay, so we're getting back to the present, back to the big clash. Big lightning in the sky, big lightning. We're seeing the clouds kind of start to open up. This man is fucking flying out of here. He's using Geppo. So this is the three-armed, not the three-armed, the fucking long-armed tribe member of CP0. He's never said a word, but he has witnessed this whole thing. So him escaping, him getting out of there, means that whatever happens here, the news will reach the rest of the world. This is not going to be an unreported on moment. And we've known that from the start, but this like just kind of confirms that whatever happens in the next couple pages is going to be reported to the world government. Luffy will win, I know it, says, what's his fucking face? Momonosuke? Do it, Momonosuke-kun! So Momo's about to move the island. Come forth, flame clouds, obey me, he says. Everyone's sending their fucking hopes and dreams up to the sky. Live floor, dome interior, Onigashima. Wah! So Kid's holding his fucking head. He's having a bit of a headache at the moment. Poor dude. Yeah, not sure what's happening with this dude. Sorry, guys, need to adjust my camera settings here. It's looking a little funky. All right, there we go. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Come forth, flame clouds. Obey me. Everyone's sending their dreams up to the sky. Wagya. So everyone's holding their head. Does that mean fucking Joy Boy is coming back? Does that mean what's his face? That fucking elephant, prophecy elephant, is coming back? Zunisha. Because now Kid's, having a headache. Everyone seems to be hearing something. Shah. What is that racket? The water of Zou shall save everyone. So, okay, so Jinbei and Raizo are still saving everyone with water. Robinson, glug, 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 glug. But he's made of bones, so we know he'll be fine. These guys, these funny mink boys, the bull guy and the monkey guy, Law's crew, who we don't give a fuck about, they're fucking, being shot through the castle with all the waves. Oh, these guys who are about to get into a fight, Ichi and, or Ibi and, fucking, Apu, I was really expecting more from, to be honest. So the water's flushing, it's basically like a big flush. Onigashima is being flushed, it's a giant toilet, just like this fucking arc. And, Law, he's still looking fucking, dude has croomed too much, he has taken a nap, having a cigarette, after, fucking Big Mom to the degree that he did. And, okay, big flush coming this way. Everyone's about to get flushed down the toilet. That is Onigashima. Based Usopp holding on to Kinemon and Kiku like a boss. And we got Hamlet. We got a Hamlet sighting in the background over here. Fuck yeah. That's what you love to see. As long as we get a Hamlet panel each chapter, I am a happy boy because Hamlet is Goda at his finest. So, okay. Water. We have everyone screaming. It's literally flushing. Looks like it's flushing everyone out of Onigashima, or like it's pouring out of the fucking holes that have been made in Onigashima. Sanji might actually get some, so that's a development. Kya, Osame-chan, where did this water come from? So Sanji has a girl on his wrist. What a guy. He's got the mouse still with him. That's cute. Careful, you're getting washed away, says Frankie. What happened to Zoro? Okay, so no, that's Zoro, still passed out, still dead, still with Frankie. Treasure repository, second floor. You've done well, really well. You've done well, really well, says Denjiro. He's talking to his waifu, his best friend's daughter. Look at his fucking ponytail touching the ground like that. Oh, no, that's actually his pompadour, not his ponytail. Man, that looks great. To have endured this for so many moons. To have endured having to fuck your father's killer for so many moons. Hiyori-sama. Aww. I do like this little moment between these two characters, because he really was kind of... I know he was like... The meme has been like he was her pimp, right? He was pimping her out to all the fucking old men in the capital to, get further his own political machinations. Like she was kind of his agent. And that's true. That is just what happens. That's not even a meme. That's like just legitimately the truth. But like we know that, these guys have good hearts, and they were trying to, save their country, save their clan, get revenge for their lord and for her father. But I love this scene where he's like bowing down and his pompadour is just like fucking L-shaped, touching the ground. That's funny. God, I fucking missed the pompadour on this man. Oh man, the pompadour was so based. If you guys watched my last stream, if you guys caught it, man, I'm just so disappointed that Kyoshiro didn't end up being a villain, because he was a great villain when they were building him up to be a villain, when they were building him up to be like basically the top level samurai that was going to be like Zoro's and maybe I was reading into it too much, but like, come on. Like, Zoro and him had a literal grudge against... or Zoro literally had like a grudge against him for like defending Orochi. Zoro wanted to kill Orochi, but this was the man standing in his way. And like, he was just dabbing all over Zoro. I'm still upset about that. Like, I know it was my expectations versus what Oda had planned, and I shouldn't like let that color my experience too much. Like, I know that. It is just a bummer to me, though. It is like I'm just like the cool pompadour, man. He was just like such a cool, intimidating character, and we just know that hacked a moment, Rude Rich. It's such a hacked a moment. I'm pissed, but it's just like he like the Beast Pirates. So many people have been saying this all arc is that the enemies this arc haven't been as intimidating and haven't been as like formidable as we wanted them to be. And I'm not saying that's true for everyone. I do think King and Queen were mostly pretty formidable, although they did get taken down somewhat anticlimactically, especially King. But like, they did have the upper hand for a while. It was a long drawn out fight. Big Mom was a badass. Like, Big Mom's fight was great. Like, Kaido beat Luffy like 10 times. So it doesn't apply to everyone. There were intimidating villains this arc. But this man literally like held off Zoro like it was no big deal, and then like laughed at him. And he was funny. He was like kind of like a fucking Joker-esque character. He had this shit-eating grin the whole time. He was like, I really liked his character. Like, you could tell that there was more to him under the surface just by the way he like kind of clearly wasn't actually loyal to Orochi. Like, I think the first scene we even see with at the time Kyoshiro, now Denjiro, was him literally saying like, what was it? It was like something along the lines of like, man, Orochi's a real paranoid piece of shit, isn't he? Like, this dude's like fucking scared of a bunch of ghosts. What the fuck? Like, that was literally the first thing this man said. So, like, we always knew that he was going to betray... At least I always knew that he was going to betray Orochi when the time was right. He was going to... But I always thought of it as, like, more of, like, a usurper type of role. Like, maybe he, like, believes in, like... Like, maybe he believed that, like, I have to be, like, Kaido's going to get rid of this guy anyway, or, like, like, maybe he helps, like, I expected there to be, like, more interesting machinations from this man. I expected him to be like a more interesting force in the story. And if he had been on the bad guy's side, I feel like he could have actually been like, because like what I wanted to see, that like I think what a lot of us wanted to see is Zoro have like an actual fight with like a legitimate swordsman, and King is kind of a swordsman, but like King could have fought Marco, and Marco could have had like a real fight. Like instead we get like clashes with Marco, and I'm fine with, I like clashes. I don't mind him clashing with King and Queen. I thought that was cool, but like it would have been cool if like Sanji gets Queen, King and, you know, Marco have like a real one-on-one. That would have been fucking sick. And Zoro gets this guy who's like on the level of like he's like, you know, Orochi's top guy who literally just usurped the crown from Orochi by killing him himself, by like backstabbing him or like betraying him by like joining forces with Kaido and like giving, you know, like basically like kind of like fucking this guy over, like undermining him, right? And in the end it being like even if he did, maybe he did have like noble goals or whatever at one point, or even in his motivations along the way. But I feel like him doing it in his own way, and like he could have taken out one of the scabbards. Like there were so many ways to make him intimidating. Like if he had beaten Kinemon and then Zoro had to like avenge his friend, or beaten Kiko and Zoro had to avenge his friend, like there was just like so many ways to make this guy like, even if he was, you could even have like his backstory be the same. He was a former scabbard, but just make him more similar to Ashura Doji, but like someone who went even further to be like, you know what? Odin like had the right idea, but he was naive in the way he went about it. Like I'm going about it the right way. Like opening our, like, you know, there could have been like so many ways to like make this guy like kind of like if he was like the best swordsman in Wano, that would have made Zoro, like a fight with him and Zoro, like super impactful. Like Zoro overcoming like the strongest swordsman in Wano would have been really cool, instead of just overcoming like a guy who like is also a first mate, which is fine. Like I like the Zoro and King fight for what it is. I was disappointed by the ending of that fight and how quickly it wrapped up, just like a lot of you were. But like that's how I, you know, like I just had such high hopes for this guy, and I just like. I'm glad he got to do a thing with Hiyori. I'm glad he got to take out, you know, one of the main villains of the arc. But still, like, Oda sold this man short. He had such a cool character design, and he just did not live up to the hype for me at all, which is a bummer. Ruger says, no, Chip, we had to have 15 chapters of Ice Onis. Honestly, I don't even mind the Ice Onis. I don't even think that's a bad thing. Like, because it at least gave Chopper a moment to shine. It's just like the way they handled like Denjiro. Like, I get that he's supposed to be the opposite of Kanjuro, where Kanjuro was playing the role of an ally, but was actually an enemy, like in a Kabuki-style fashion, where this guy was playing the role of an enemy, but was actually an ally. Like, I get that there is a Kabuki element to these boys. Like, I understand that. I just, like, I personally, like, would have found it more satisfying if, like, him, like, this guy who was, like, portrayed, like I said last chapter, the first thing he does when he shows up at the raid, like in Act 3, like, it took Luffy, what's his name, Kid and Law together, using their strongest techniques to destroy a fucking giant, you know, Kaido ship. It took this man one slice, and he fucking Mihawked that shit. And, like, to me, it's like, this guy was being built up so much, and, like, I'm fine with him being an ally, but it's just like, man, like, I feel like he would have served the arc better as an enemy, because it would have given him, like, a fucking samurai boogeyman and a guy for Zoro to have, like, a real, like, sword duel with, to see, like, who really is the strongest swordsman, and to see if Zoro could, like, overcome, like, what the best Wano has to offer in terms of, like, a swordsmanship. Like, I think that would have been so fucking cool. I don't know. It's just my opinion that I feel like this guy would have been better used as a villain. I get that it's not what Oda was going for thematically, but that's just my opinion. Hope you guys understand. No room for good fights. Yep. I mean, there were some good fights this arc. I'm not trying to say there weren't, but, you know, like, I'm a little disappointed by how this character in particular was used. So that's just how I feel. Wow, the island isn't falling. Isn't it? The island, isn't it falling? Oh shit, it is falling. The flame clouds are gone. Is Momo about to hold up the island like his father before him? You know, carrying the weight of his allies on his back just the same way that Odin did? We will find out shortly. The flame clouds are gone. Not good. Onigashima, it's going to crash. So that means the fact that the flame clouds are gone means that Kaido is using the last of his strength for this final clash with Luffy. So that's actually pretty cool. It shows that Kaido, he's giving it his all right now. He's putting everything he has into this final clash between him and Straw Hat. Him and the Nika. Okay, Straw Hat. What kind of world do you wish to make? Straw Hat, what kind of world do you wish to make? Ugh, he's in pain. My man is in pain. Flame clouds appear. He coomed! Guys, he coomed! Momo finally coomed to Yamato for the first time. Yamato is clearly surprised by how much this man just coomed. And they're doing their final clash. He was actually able to move the island out of the way with the flame clouds. He coomed so hard that the island was pushed. Projectile ejaculation sent this island all the way moving to the right. And just in time for Luffy's final clash. And is this going to be fucking epic? Oh shit, look, Kaido's mouth is fucking getting split in half. And Luffy says, a world where? Huff, huff. Oh shit. Oh shit. My friends can eat as much as they like. Nice. Bringing it back to that moment with Tama at the very beginning of the arc. Fuck yeah. That is some Goda shit right there. That is some Goda shit. And look, I love this panel right here because this panel harkens back to the time when Luffy first got on the roof. And this was just adapted in chapter 10-15. Luffy goes up to the roof. He uses red rock. He dodges Kaido's big smash attack. He uses red rock and hits him in the side of the face. And Kaido looked just like this. He was surprised just the same way that he is now by this giant fist getting fucking clobbered by a man he didn't expect to be this strong. As much as they like. That's my kind of world. Nice. Fuck yeah. Luffy wants all of his friends to be obese. This is his world. This is the world that this man desires. And you know what? I'm fucking on board with it. Let's become characters in let's become the guys in Wall-E together. Or let's go to Fat Camp together. Dressrosa moment. It is a bit of a Dressrosa moment, but honestly, the spectacle is cool. I like that Kaido pulled out all the stops for this final encounter. And I like that Luffy brings it back to the reason he was fighting in the first place, because he saw Tama, he saw how fucking desolate Wano had become, and how, like, you know, she shared her food with him. That clearly meant a lot to him, especially since he knew it was her birthday food. Like, it mattered. It was something that mattered a lot to her, and she just, like, gave it to him as, like, recompense, despite being, like, a little girl. Like that, and like, you know, she was like going hungry, you know, like, I like that. That's what Luffy's like main like contention with Kaido has been this whole time, is that like he has made Wano a desolate wasteland when it used to be a verdant paradise, and like his friends who like clearly like are self-sacrificial are like, you know, like unable to eat. And like that was the thing that was the main thing in Act 1, was that Luffy stole the food that was being sent to the capital, sent to Orochi and his homeboys in Act 1. He stole the food, he brought the food to Okabore town, and basically told Otoko. Otoko? Right, Otoko, right? I'm pretty sure it's Otoko. He told Otoko, like, this is my body broken for you. Eat it in remembrance of me. Bible time, guys. We're doing Bible reactions next week. Once One Piece ends, maybe we'll start doing we'll react to Bible chapters instead of One Piece chapters. Anyway, but no, like literally Jesus H Christ, Jesus D Christ, as we see right here. He cares about the people of Wano. He wants them to eat well and live good lives. And, like, that makes sense, because we know that, like, you know, we just know what Luffy cares about. We know he cares about food. We know that that's how he connects to people, like sharing a meal with somebody. Like, even when he met Zoro for the first time, like that little girl sharing her food with Zoro, Zoro yelling at her, telling her to get away to keep her from getting in trouble, and then, like, asking someone else to, like, feed it to him, and being, like, so happy and grateful for it. That's what made, like, Luffy be like, I like this guy. I like Zoro. Like, Luffy, like, and then with Sanji, it was like Sanji being willing to feed someone who, you know, like, didn't have any money just because, like, the guy was hungry. Like, that's the type of thing that, like, makes like there's a big through line with Luffy, like, always. Rude Rich. Rude Rich ain't picking up what I'm putting down. He ain't buying what I'm selling here, I guess. But the whole point is, like, Luffy clearly cares about this type of shit. I love Zoro too, buddy. Psych, I hate Zoro. Fuck that too. ZKK, get fucked. Anyone who thought ZKK was actually gonna happen. Fuck y'all. Y'all are delusional. Cope and seethe and sneed and die. But yeah, so you guys get the point what I'm saying. I like that Luffy's prime motivation for taking Kaido down and freeing Wano from Kaido's regime was to make it a place where people could, you know, eat to their heart's contents or eat to their stomach's contents in the future. Because that's what he said in Act 1. That's what the reason he started caring about the people of Wano. He even like repeated it in Act 2. It's come up a bunch of times. Raid fail, bros. Oh god. Oh man, I can't wait to see how much Morge fucking copes and sneeds about this shit, man. It's gonna be... That is going to be hilarious. That's going to be more funny than when Nate found out that Jinbei was now the dad of the Straw Hats, according to Oda. That's his role on the crew. Like, when Nate found that shit, that the fucking hope, the fucking righteous indignation from that man was so funny. Like, I don't even watch Talking Pirates anymore, really, unless he's doing reactions to... Because unless he's doing a... Unless Nate does a, what's it called? Like one of those, what are they called? Reactions. The things that when he reacts to the, or he reads through the SBS. I like those because those are stuff that, like, I don't cover. I don't see a lot of people cover SBS stuff in, like, a funny way. So seeing Nate do that is pretty fun. But, you know, like, because I'm doing a show that's, God, my hair is fucking a mess right now. Oh, my God. I think it's because I have my fan blowing up at my head right now. But anyway, like, because I do a similar show now to what Nate does, but in my own way, you know, kind of mixing a couple different, you know, I do reactions, but also discussions, talk themes, you know, make memes, talk shit, you know, whatever. Like, I don't feel like, I occasionally will, like, catch up on Talking Pirates, but it's not something I keep up with regularly anymore. But yeah, I was waiting for the moment he reacted to that Jinbei shit. I was like patiently anticipating the day he would, and so when he did it a couple weeks ago, I had a good laugh about that. That was a good time. But yeah, anyway, like, I can't wait to see Morge. Morge is his reaction to this chapter is gonna be, look, Kaido is just temporarily knocked out. He hasn't even showed his awakening yet. He's gonna come back in the next couple chapters. Fucking 100%. Raid will fail. My man, we're gonna move on to the next arc. We're gonna move on to Elbaf or, like, fucking Raftel or fucking, you know, whatever the next arc is gonna be. And he's still gonna be like, nah, man, we're coming back to Wano. The raid is going to fail. He is never gonna drop the raid fail shit. That man is sold. That man is 100% sold on his own. He's bought his own lie. He is, like, bought into, like, his own bullshit in such a insane way. I don't know how anyone, like, legitimately respects that man anymore. I mean, okay, I'm being a little bit mean. Like, he's a smart dude in some ways. It's just, like, the amount of fucking, like, suspension of disbelief. And, like, the amount of, like, not even suspension of disbelief, like, the amount of, like, cognitive dissonance you have to, like, still, like, you know, kind of like be like, oh no, my theory that I am so proud of is and must be what comes to pass. It's gonna be so, it's gonna be glorious. I fucking can't wait for that. It's gonna be so good. Good guys, he fell 10,000 feet from the clouds and survived before. Yeah, this is no big deal. We know that. Kaido, hey, in a one-on-one fight, even if the main character has now god powers, has the strongest haki in the verse, has, you know, lost 10 times. There's still no way Kaido can lose. Come on, man. This isn't earned, right? This isn't earned. Luffy still needs at least 10 more losses before he can claim this victory. That's my take on this. Clearly, Kaido is still going to get up. Of course, Act 4 bros. Act 4 bros. Fuck, man. It's over for us. Okay, so Kaido gets the fucking punch to the face. At long last, he gets taken down. Big explosion. Momo was able to croom so hard that he literally saved Onigashima and the citizens therein, the people on the island. We have the floating Japanese text that I can't read. Why the fuck didn't they translate this? Fucking TCB. Come on, get your shit together. Translate these tiny letters so that I can know what I'm reading here. I want to know what this says, goddammit. Come on, bros. Okay. So this man got punched, and he literally left an after image in the sky. Wow. King, I know who he is. King, I know who he is. So this is the okay, so this is the continuation of what Kaido was saying to King way back here. When he's like, then I know, if Joy Boy is the same man that you're waiting for, King, then I know who he is. Who is it? Asked King. Okay. King, I know who he is. Who is it? Joy Boy is the man who will be able to beat me one day. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Is it Hakta? Or is it Goda? Gotta say, if that's true, I don't think he'll ever appear. Damn. I gotta say, I like that. That is Goda piece. That's Goda piece, bros. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. You know, I think that's cool because Kaido, his whole thing is that he's been the undefeated man this whole time. And, like, the fact that the final, like, the fact that we see, like, I love the way, this chapter is great. To me, this is a really good chapter. Because, like, this is what I've been waiting for the past, like, 10 chapters. Or not the past 10 chapters, but, like, at least the past 3 chapters, right? This is really good. This is, like, this is good stuff. Like, I was expecting a Kaido flashback to, like, put things in perspective, give us more insight on his motivations. It did that in just a couple panels. Like I said, we didn't even need a whole chapter. We just needed a few panels, right? We just needed a few panels. We needed to know, like, why he was the way he was, what his motivations were, why he wanted to turn the world upside down, why, like, clearly he has a grudge against the nobles. It made sense. Like, you know, clearly he admired people like, I mean, actually, I used to think that part of the reason he wanted to be the strongest was because he admired people like Rox and like Roger. But it's actually just, no, he was just super strong the whole time and wanted to be Joy Boy. He wanted to, like, take down, like, the Tenri Bito, like, his captain did, like, Captain Rox did. And, like, getting to see him finally, like, explain, like, because he realized, somewhere along the line, he realized that he couldn't be Joy Boy. Who knows exactly when that happened. It happened somewhere along the line, that's all we know. But, like, at some point on his journey, he realized, I'm not Joy Boy, like, I can't, like, I don't know, maybe he still thinks he could change the world because he became a Yonko. He was warring against the world government. Like, he is one of their greatest enemies. He's one of the greatest forces that, like, oppose their reign. Like, he has his own territory. He is, like, a force that is, like, literally, he's got the highest bounty of anyone alive right now, except for maybe Dragon, because we don't know what his bounty is. But, like, it makes sense that this man, who, like, has come this far and is trying to change the world, but it's taken him 50 fucking years to do it. Like, he's clearly made some progress, but, like, despite all of his efforts, he hasn't been able to turn the world upside down in the way that he's hoped for. He's clearly still going for it. He united with Lin Lin in an alliance in order to do so. But, like, clearly, like, this is, like, you know, he didn't have as much faith in himself. Like, at some point along the line, he became jaded. He realized that he couldn't be, that he, like, was not Joy Boy. He was not like the guy to change the world. I want to learn a little bit more about that as well. Like I want to learn why he came to the conclusion that he couldn't be the one to do it, even though he was literally going after the ancient weapons with Lin Lin. That was his goal. Was they both still wanted to become Pirate King. So that's interesting. We need to hear more about like what Joy Boy is and what it means to be Joy Boy. We need to hear more about that. That needs to be elaborated on, and I think it will once we get like a little bit more of like the Oden and Toki flashback. Once we learn more about like Oden's journal and what Momonosuke read and what's his name, what Yamato read. But like this is good. Like this is good. Like him saying, like Kaido was introduced as the guy who is always winning a one-on-one fight, always bet on Kaido. Him being like basically more or less invincible at the beginning of the arc. Like Luffy couldn't even damage him. And even when people could damage him, they still couldn't like defeat him. He still was like resilient. He was fucking tough. Even after fighting this entire arc against like a dozen different like characters, at least as strong as like, Jack and like the Scabbards and stuff. Like this man is still like standing. He's still putting up a fight against everyone. He's just like, he's a beast. Kaido was a beast of a guy. I am not disappointed with Kaido. Like I thought I was going to be. I didn't even think I was going to be. I was expecting Krusty to come home on this one. I was expecting like us to get like more context because we needed it. And like I think Oda knew that we needed it. And like even just getting to see this, like the stuff that we got this chapter. And, like, it coming around is, like, I know who Joy Boy is. Who is it? Joy Boy is the man who will be able to beat me one day. And then King saying, I don't think he'll ever appear. Like, that's goddamn good. That is goddamn good. I like that. Go to Peace this week. Go to Delivered on this one, in my opinion. Fuck yeah. Based. Super based. This chapter is great. Please vanquish the scary dragon. Restore the Kazuki clan. 2 of the wishes that people sent up to the sky. Fucking TCB. Why didn't you translate this shit? Come on. Do your fucking jobs, people. What am I paying you for? What am I not paying you for by reading this chapter for free, even though they don't get paid to do it? So, okay. And then the last panels in this chapter is Onigashima landing, being plopped down by Momo right next to the flower capital. And Kaido... Is that Kaido or Momo falling to the ground? It looks like Momo. Momo falls to the ground because he's expended all his energy. He just had the biggest coom of his entire life. Probably his first coom because he's only 8 years old. Hey man, with that side boob flopping around, I can't really blame the man. But yeah, he is spent. He has nothing left in his peen. And this man, Luffy, is also spent. But I love this final panel. We're seeing the 2 heroes of this arc, the one who saved everyone and the one who defeated like the danger, the one who defeated the oppressor. Like, great fucking chapter. This is like, so like, I'm not sure if this is like the moment, I'm not sure if this is the equivalent. He became a soy boy. He sure did. He took a bite of soy. That's for sure. But, like, okay, so, like, I'm not sure if this would be considered the chapter that is, like, kind of, like, the equivalent of Skypia's The Bell chapter, or the chapter where Luffy rings the bell, and then you see his, like, silhouette in the clouds, or, like, the people on the ground, like Mont Blanc, Cricket? Yeah, Cricket seeing, like, the, like, Luffy's silhouette in the clouds. Like, but this does feel like a really great culmination to this entire conflict, really getting to the heart of like what Luffy cares about, and also like learning more about like we finally get the end of the fight. We finally get like what like Kaido has, like we get to see like what Kaido cares about and like why he did it, like what motivated him to go down this path. I do want a little bit more information, maybe not even necessarily from Kaido's perspective or like even like a Kaido flashback, but just I want to know more obviously about like what it means to be Joy Boy, and like like I just want to know more about that because that's clearly like the mystery that is still left, and I'm confident that Oda will deliver on that because we still have more to go. We still have Yamato and Momo who've read the journal. We know that Oden and Toki knew stuff and that they were hiding stuff. deliberately. So I expect us to get this stuff in the coming chapters, in Act 4 or whatever it is. Or who knows, maybe Kaido will get up and we'll do it all again. Run it back, baby. The numbers are going to deliver. We're going to get Kaido's awakening. Everyone is going to awaken. The Flying Six are going to awaken, and we're going to have our Act 4 fights. And it's gonna be wild, guys. The raid is going to fail. Never doubt it for a second. But yeah, guys, in my opinion, this chapter was top notch. This is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been waiting for a while, and I'm really, really happy we got it. And man, yeah, I have nothing more to say than that. Like he's got the golden hockey, bros. You guys see that meme of like Shanks's hand, like Shanks reforming his lost arm with like golden hockey? We finally got the golden hockey, bros. It's happening. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Why make it gold? He's a white boy. I mean, I guess because it's covered with armament, and black and white make gold somehow. I don't fucking know. The guys who colored this are stupid. I don't know what they're thinking. And Momo's croom, apparently purple. Interesting. He did a purple croom. Very good. Very good. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to say about this chapter. I really like this. This is good. This is a good, like, final, this is a great way to cap off this, like, long, drawn-out fight between these two, guys, these two, leaders, these two captains. And, yeah, and it's a good capstone to, like, the themes of the arc, to, like, the stuff that, like, Luffy cared about going into this battle. And, yeah, it's just great to see him and Momo, like, do what they needed to do. And, like, also get to see, like, things from Kaido's perspective. Like, I'm just glad. Like, this is what I've been waiting for, like I said. And, yeah, I think we're on break next week, I'm pretty sure. One Piece will be on break next week. Okay, so we're not doing a One Piece stream next week, but we'll probably do a gaming stream instead. So thank you guys so much for watching. The VOD for this episode of ChipZ Ahoy will be up on YouTube tomorrow, bright and early. I will be sharing that, so keep an eye out for that. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube, check the description or whatever. It's Bag of Chips is my second channel. That's the one where I upload my stream highlights, as well as like my Let's Plays. I'm still doing my Elden Ring Let's Play. I'm going to have some other gameplay on there as well soon. And we're probably going to be playing either Nier Automata, or maybe there's actually another game I've been meaning to check out that we're probably going to play next week, since we don't have a One Piece stream. And I'm almost done with Elden Ring, so once I'm done, I'll start doing my Tuesday streams again. Either Monday or Tuesday streams will come back. It's just because I've been playing Elden Ring and trying to finish that, before too long, I've kind of had to postpone my Tuesday stream. So I hope that's not a huge deal for y'all. I know most of y'all are here for the One Piece shit anyway, which is fine. I'm cool with that. So, yeah, but I'll see you guys, if not next week with a gaming stream, then 2 weeks from now with the next chapter, 1050. Holy shit, guys, 1050. This arc has been basically 150 chapters, and it's not even over. Oh my god. Wrap this shit up, Oda. And I think he will. I think he will, and I'm finally, like, feeling excited for One Piece again after this chapter. Like, I'm excited to see what comes next. See ya, Rude Rich. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate ya. And I will see you guys in the next one. ChipZ Ahoy to ya, and have a good night.